Welcome to Learner's Planet students. Students, in today's session we are going to learn about the nutrition in plants. So this is session 1 in which we are going to study about the introduction to nutrition and the modes of nutrition, in which we will discuss about one such type of nutrition in detail. So let us start with this session. Students, as you know that the plants upon which we depend for the food we eat and for the oxygen we breathe depend in turn upon the soil. And we know that the soil supplies the plants with the mineral nutrients they use. Now, what type of mineral nutrients they use? So we need to discuss about the mineral nutrition in which we can know that what kind of mineral nutrients or mineral elements they use. So first thing which we are going to discuss here is mineral nutrition. Mineral nutrition thus comprises the study of the plants which obtain the mineral elements or the mineral nutrients either through water, air or soil and utilize them for their growth and development. So there are many such minerals like potassium, calcium, sulfur, etc., which are very much essential for the plants to grow. So now let us see that from where do the plants get mineral nutrients? Yes, it is through the roots that the components of the soil are made available and useful to plants. As you can see here in the picture that water is absorbed by the root hairs. So how is it possible? The root-soil relations are very intricate and they are poorly understood, and we need to know more about roots and their relations with the soil. Since the elements which are necessary to growth and reproduction are actually the essential elements. By water culture, it is possible to determine which elements are essential and which are non-essential. And even this method also indicates the symptoms that arise from the deficiency of the element. So if any such element is absent or it is lacking in the plant, it will directly affect the plant. So we can say that the essential elements which are most commonly used and added to the soil are nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So these are the major nutrients. Let us discuss more about these. Yes, these components of the soil which are necessary for growth and reproduction are therefore termed as essential elements. And we know that these essential elements most commonly used and added to the soil are in the form of fertilizer. That means the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So mineral nutrition is actually what it is, the mineral elements which are obtained by the plants through water, air and soil. So these essential nutrients or these essential is of very much importance. Now you must be knowing that besides these elements there are other elements which are very much essential. So let us see. Besides these essential elements, plants use inorganic minerals for nutrition, whether grown in the field or in a container. Like complex interactions involving the weathering of rock minerals, decaying organic matter, animals and microbes takes place to form inorganic minerals in the soil. Many such factors influence the nutrient uptake for plants. For example, the roots absorb mineral nutrients as ions in the form of ions in soil water. Ions can be readily available to the roots or could be tied up by other elements or the soil itself. That is why soil too high in the pH, that is, it becomes alkaline or it can become acidic. And this alkalinity or the acidity makes the minerals unavailable to plants. So the plants absorb such mineral nutrients in the form of ions in the soil water. And that is why they are able to grow and develop properly. So we can say that a living organism shows some basic characteristics that differentiate it from a non-living one. And these characteristics are very much useful. Like these mineral nutrients are useful, there are some characteristics which are very useful for a living organism. And these characteristics are called as the life characteristics, because together they ensure that an organism continues to live. Like these plants. These plants are considered to be living. So we have learned about these nutrients which are essential. So we should also know that what are the life characteristics which are very much essential, and they are present in plants. The characteristics which are very much essential, or the characteristics which are also called as life characteristics of a plant, is respiration, excretion, reproduction, nutrition, growth, movement, and even response to stimuli. Stimuli means the environmental factor. So all these things together combine and makes the plants to grow. It makes it possible for the plants to grow and reproduce in a very proper manner. So this was all about the introduction to nutrition in plants. Now let us discuss about the nutrition, the word nutrition, which carries very much importance. First of all, we should know that what is meant by food. Any substance that can be broken down through chemical processes in the body of an organism to give energy is called food. Food also includes liquids. Now food does not mean that all the solids which we eat, which we consume, but it also includes the liquids, for example, juices, soups, etc. So the process by which an organism obtains this food, which is used to provide energy and materials for its life-sustaining activities, is termed as nutrition. So nutrition is very much important. Like we feel hungry in the morning and we have a good breakfast. Like whenever you go to the school and come back feeling hungry again. So why is this happening? Why do we feel hungry again? What has happened to the breakfast which we ate? Well, our breakfast which we ate in the morning has been used by our body to give us energy. And this energy is the energy which helps us to do all the activities. And by the time we come back, whenever we step out of our home or whenever we do some work, so by that time all the energy has been used up. And our body wants more food, because food is the source of energy. This is actually termed as nutrition, where the process by which a living organism can obtain food, which is a source of energy, that means it will provide us with energy and with some materials for life-sustaining activities. That means we can carry out the activities, the daily activities of our life. This process is termed as nutrition. Even we can say that the entire process of taking in food and drink by living organisms and using it for the purpose of growth and daily activities is also termed as nutrition. So this is all about nutrition. Thus, we can say that the study of the process of nutrition in various organisms gives us an idea about their nutritional requirements. There are various other materials which are required for our body, like the organic and inorganic raw materials which are required for building the structure of our body and maintaining the body functions of our body. So now let us discuss about these modes of nutrition. There are two major modes of nutrition. First is the autotrophic nutrition and secondly heterotrophic nutrition. So let us now discuss about the first type, the first mode of nutrition occurring in a living organism, autotrophic nutrition. As you know, children, that organisms which utilize carbon dioxide as their sole source of carbon for the formation of organic food by the process of photosynthesis are called autotrophs. Auto means self and trophs means nourishing. Or rather we can say that auto means self and trophs means nutrition. So in short, we can say that autotrophs means self-nourishing or self-nutrition, providing the nutrition to itself. And this type of nutrition carried out by the autotrophs is termed as autotrophic nutrition. I hope you understood this type of nutrition. Like we have seen animals and humans eating food, but have we ever wondered that how plants obtain their food? This type of nutrition by which plants obtain their food or plants get the food is autotrophic nutrition, means they self-nourish themselves, or we can say they are self-nourishing. Right? So remember this, that organisms which utilize carbon dioxide as their sole source of carbon for formation of the organic food by the process of photosynthesis are called autotrophs. Now start using your brain. That which are the organisms for which the carbon dioxide acts as a sole source of carbon? Let us see. In this type of nutrition, the living organisms manufacture their own organic food from simple inorganic raw materials like the green plants. So for the green plants, carbon acts as a sole source of energy. And that is why we can say that the green plants exhibit autotrophic mode of nutrition, and hence the green plants are called the autotrophs. So they utilize carbon dioxide as the sole source of carbon for the formation of food by the process of photosynthesis. The autotrophs require external energy source for the manufacture of organic substances. So let us see what is actually this organic substances which are made by the green plants. The green plants which obtain energy from sunlight are therefore termed as photoautotrophs. Photo means sunlight, photo means light, and green plants obtain light from the sun. So we can say that the green plants obtain energy from the sunlight and therefore they are called as photoautotrophs. Right? So photo means sunlight, auto means self, and trophs means nourishing. So self-nourishing with the help of sunlight. Right? And the process of synthesizing food in the plant is called as photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means combining it together. Synthesis means making something. Synthesize, like synthesizing food. So green plants will synthesize the food in the presence of sunlight. And this is termed as photosynthesis. So I hope you are clear with this. Now let us understand this process with the help of an experiment. This is an experiment to show that only green plants can photosynthesize. Now our aim is to show that only green plants can photosynthesize. So the materials which are used, which are needed for this experiment are a leaf with two colors. It could be a variety of hibiscus, or we have coleus leaf here. And coleus leaf or the hibiscus leaf is a type of variegated leaf. And variegated leaf means a leaf with two colors. So materials needed are a variety of hibiscus or the coleus leaf. We have taken a coleus leaf over here. Then we need beaker, beaker stand, Bunsen burner, water, test tube, ethanol, and iodine solution. So how we will carry out this experiment? Yes. First we have to place a beaker about 3/4 full of water on a stand and boil the water. As you can see here, this is the boiling water you can see here. Now place the leaf in this water for about 2 minutes. Now why we are placing the leaf in this water? Because this will break down the cell walls. Now take the leaf out and put it in a test tube with 3/4 of alcohol. Here we have a beaker with alcohol. Alcohol we can take, for example, as ethanol. So we have to take out the leaf and we will put it in a test tube or a beaker with 3/4 of alcohol. and place this beaker or a test tube in a very hot water for about 10 minutes. So you can see here, this is a hot water or the boiling water, so that the alcohol does not get evaporated. So as the alcohol will warm up, we just have to warm up the alcohol. So as the alcohol or ethanol will warm up, it will remove the chlorophyll from the leaf and it will make it almost colorless. Remember that we have taken a coleus leaf, which is a variegated leaf, a leaf with two colors. So it will remove only chlorophyll from the leaf, not the other pigments. As you know that chlorophyll is a pigment which is present in the green plants. It gives green color to the plants. But there are other pigments also present in hibiscus or coleus which will give them a different color. So that pigment will not get removed by ethanol or alcohol. Alcohol will remove only chlorophyll from the leaf and it will make almost colorless. After about 10 minutes, we will remove the leaf and we will dip it in the warm water to soften it, to soften the leaf. Now we will place the leaf on the white tile and we will add 3 to 4 drops of iodine solution. So we can place the leaf on a white tile also, or we can take a petri dish. We can place it on a petri dish and then add 3 to 4 drops of iodine solution on the leaf. Now what can we observe? Let us see. The observation you can see here, it is that after some time we can see that original green portion has turned dark blue. The leaf, the variegated leaf which we took was different in color, but after adding ethanol which made it colorless, almost colorless, which removed the chlorophyll from it, after that we put the iodine solution, 3-4 drops of iodine solution, and then we see that original green portion has turned dark blue, somewhat dark blue. So what can we observe? That only the green portion of the leaf turns bluish black, while the non-green portion does not turns bluish black. So why is this happening? What will be the conclusion now? Our aim was to show that only green plants can photosynthesize. So you can see some of the changes over here. This was the leaf which we took. Then we kept it in a boiling water to break down the cell walls, and then we dipped in the ethanol to remove chlorophyll, and then again we dipped into the warm water to soften it, to soften the leaf, and after that we added the iodine solution which made it bluish black in color. So what can be the conclusion? We can see that some of the portion has turned bluish black, but remaining portion is the same. This means that starch is present only in the green area of the leaf, and in the rest area of the leaf starch is not present. Thus, we can conclude that only green leaves can photosynthesize and they can make food. Rest of the leaves or rest of the plants which do not have green leaves cannot photosynthesize and they cannot make food. So this is the conclusion of our experiment. I hope this experiment is clear. Now let us move on. So this is the new topic which we are going to study in this session, and it is photosynthesis. I hope you are clear with the experiment in which we have to show that only green plants can photosynthesize, and now you can understand in a better way the process of photosynthesis. Now first of all, we should know that plants are producers, right? And producers make their own food. And this food is in the form of a sugar, often also termed as glucose. As you might have heard, and we have also discussed it in the previous grades, that green plants prepare their own food, and that food is also called as glucose, right? So we can say that it is in the form of sugar. So sugars are actually made during a process called as photosynthesis from carbon dioxide and water. As we discussed that carbon dioxide is utilized by the green plants as a sole source of carbon, and the end products, that means the organic compounds which we obtain at the end of this process, are composed from the simple inorganic compounds like water and carbon dioxide. So what the difference we can see here? That the inorganic compounds are the water and carbon dioxide, and the organic compound here is glucose, or we can say sugar. So the end products are organic compounds. They are the organic compounds like glucose, which is obtained from simple inorganic compounds like water and carbon dioxide. Right? So we can say in a very short and very simple definition that from inorganic compounds, organic compounds like sugar is obtained through the process of photosynthesis. So this is one such diagrammatic representation with which you can get more clear, or you will understand the process of photosynthesis in a better manner. Like you can see here that oxygen is released out into the air, carbon dioxide is taken in by the leaf from the air, and here root hairs are there. Water is taken in by the roots from the soil. So the first thing which we will study is that water is taken by the roots from the soil, then carbon dioxide is taken in the leaf from the air. That means water and carbon dioxide are the inorganic compounds which are very much essential for the plants to make the food, and with the help of water and carbon dioxide, green plants will make their food. Also with the help of sunlight they will make their food. So what are the things required here? Sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. So because of all these three things, green plants will make its food, and finally it will release the oxygen gas into the air, and it will make the food called as glucose. So the two raw materials required for the photosynthesis are actually acquired by different means. Like carbon dioxide is absorbed by the leaves, while water is obtained by the roots from the soil. Right? Always remember this, that water, carbon dioxide and sunlight are essential for the green plants to make the food. But that doesn't mean that carbon dioxide will be obtained by roots. No, it is absorbed by the leaves. It is a gas. And water is in the liquid state, so it is obtained by the roots, by its branches. That means the root hairs from the soil. So in order for the reaction to take place, where does energy comes from? Yes, it comes from the light, usually the sun, and it is stored within the sugar, which is an energy-rich molecule. Here we can take an example of a sugar as glucose. So the reaction that takes place in the process of photosynthesis can be written as carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll yields starch and oxygen. So what things can we see here? Chlorophyll. We studied about the sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, and we also studied about the importance of chlorophyll as we carried out an experiment and we proved that only green plants can photosynthesize, right? When we removed the chlorophyll by adding ethanol, after that, what is happening in the green plants? Yes, if the chlorophyll is removed, then that plant is not able to make or synthesize the food. So chlorophyll is also very much important for the plant to make the food. And that is why it makes the food in the form of sugar. So here it is starch. Starch is also a form of sugar. So it makes food in the form of, it makes the sugar in the form of glucose or starch. And oxygen gas is released out. So this is all about photosynthesis. So let us now discuss about the photosynthesis definition once again. The process of using the energy usually from the sun. So the process of using the energy in sunlight to convert water and carbon dioxide into carbohydrates. Carbohydrates means carbohydrates. Means it is made up of carbon and hydrogen. So carbohydrates, that means the starch which is prepared or synthesized by the green plants, and oxygen released out is called photosynthesis. So this is the process known as photosynthesis. So I hope that you enjoyed today's session and learned about something about autotrophic nutrition and even the photosynthesis. So we will continue this lesson in the next session and we will learn more about photosynthesis. But before ending this session, I would like to discuss one amazing thing, that this term photosynthesis was actually coined by Charles Reed Banks in 1883. What is it in the green plant that synthesizes food? And what is actually meant by these processes? And that is why he termed this as photosynthesis, because the green plants were able to make food, and that too in the presence of sunlight. So he came up with this term called as photosynthesis. So now we will meet in the next session. Till then, keep learning and keep enjoying, students. Thank you.